On page number 50, we see the displacement reaction, which says that when two compounds are there, one element will replace the another, and whichever is active will replace the less active metal. So for that we do experiment and activity by using copper sulfate, ferrous sulfate and all. So you just pay attention. We have these 5 beakers, instead of that we have 5 balls over here. I have labeled them A, B, C, D, and in A we have to put copper sulfate. You see the blue color of copper sulfate, it is quite bright, so we put in A and B copper sulfate. Then in another we put C and E, we put zinc sulfate, which is white in color. And then in D we put ferrous sulfate. You see greenish colored, light green color it is, so this we put ferrous sulfate. We put a little amount of water in all. So they are soluble, but it will take some time. Okay, so our solution is ready as per the textbook, and then we add zinc granule in the first one. Now I have a piece of zinc over here, silvery color, so I put in A. Then I put iron nail. You can see this iron nail in the B. Then copper turnings, instead of that I have a piece of copper here. You can see the color of copper in C. Again copper in ferrous sulfate solution. And an iron nail in zinc sulfate solution. So you can see this. I'll dip it a bit, copper. Okay, zinc also will dip it. Now we have to wait for a long time till the reaction takes place. So the time is so large that we cannot go on recording. So I will show you the results in next video. Displacement reaction. Results of our activity. Okay, so that experiment we are seeing the result after about half an hour. You see the zinc has become like this blackish color or nearly like copper, but we cannot see it very nicely completely. You see the difference? This was the original zinc, and you see over here it has become a bit different, and the color of copper sulfate also has faded. Now the second one, I put another nail over here so that you can see it very nicely. See the difference. The nail that was dipped in copper sulfate solution, you can clearly see the copper color of this side, isn't it? You can see the copper color, and here we can see the ions. Only this much part was dipped, and the color of copper sulfate is also becoming very much like ferrous sulfate. So it is becoming lightly greenish color. Over here in zinc sulfate, no reaction has taken place. The copper is like that only, same way, no changes. Here the ferrous sulfate seems to have rusted out, but copper is just like that. Okay, and here also the iron nail is as it is. You want to see the small iron nail over here and see the difference. See this? iron nail over here and the iron nail over here, you can see the difference that this iron nail has become very much like copper and this iron nail is just like our regular iron nail. So copper deposition has taken place in this nail. So this is called displacement reaction. I'll show you the theory later. So what happens in the first beaker, we have CuSO4, that is copper sulfate. In second also copper sulfate. In third we have ferrous sulfate, FeSO4. Ferrous means iron, but Latin name is ferrous, so we write down FeSO4. Then we have zinc, in third we have zinc sulfate. Fourth we have FeSO4 and again zinc sulfate. In the first one we added zinc. In the second one we added iron nail. In the third one we added copper. In the fourth one again we added copper. And in the fifth one we added iron nail. So what will be the result of this? As I showed you in the first GIF, that how one metal replaces the other. Now that will happen only when one is more reactive. Now by this experiment we know that Zn is more reactive than Fe, which is more reactive than Cu. मतलब सबसे least कौन है reactive? Copper. So copper here is least reactive, so Zn will take its place. ZnSO4 plus Cu. Now Fe over here also will take place of copper, so FeSO4 plus Cu. Then here copper is less reactive, so no reaction will take place. Why? Because copper is less reactive than zinc, तो वो उसकी जगह नहीं ले सकता. Same with copper and ferrous. Again copper is less reactive than ferrous, so no reaction. Ferrous again is less reactive than zinc, so here also we get no reaction. So understood the theory of whole thing? One with arrow is ferrous and the circle one is copper sulfate. This is how the reaction takes place. Ferrous replaces copper. Arrow shows copper and box shows ferrous sulfate. Fe plus CuSO4 gives Cu plus FeSO4. So this is the example of displacement reaction where less reactive metal is replaced by more reactive metal. Okay, just for your students, I am showing you the results again after about 6 hours. You see this zinc, you can see it looks more like copper now. It was originally like that and it has become colorless, just like zinc sulfate solution. You see blue color of copper sulfate. In water I put some to show you that copper sulfate was so blue color and even darker than this, and it has become colorless. Then this also blue colored it was. You still can see the blue here. See, now you can see very clearly copper has deposited on this nail. Okay, and now it is slowly becoming like our ferrous sulfate solution over here. See, as I will keep more time, it will become like ferrous sulfate solution, first green and then brownish. Here zinc sulfate solution and zinc sulfate over here, copper and iron nail, there is no change. And over here also there is no change in this copper, it is still like that only. Okay, just because of oxidation the color of ferrous is changing. Okay, so now this same experiment